This is a test of how fast you can read compared to everybody else. There's a series of 5 levels, so make sure you let us know at which point you're not able to understand what the text is saying anymore. Good luck. So we all know Zendaya for being Zendaya. But in 2010, she was on a Disney show called Shake It Up, and season 1, episode 7 of that show, called Party It Up, was actually banned from television. Because in that episode, other characters are poking fun at modeling stereotypes, and one of them even says, "Oh, I could just eat you up. You know, if I ate." If you're older Gen Z or a millennial, you might remember this one, but the SpongeBob SquarePants episode Midlife Crustaceans was actually pulled from television in 2018. Probably because parents realized that maybe the idea of the main characters of a TV show breaking into women's houses and stealing their underwear isn't the best form of entertainment for their children. We all know Joe Rogan from the Joe Rogan podcast. But did you know he used to be the host of a TV show called Fear Factor? And there's an episode called Hee Haw Hee Haw that was banned before it was ever aired because the contestants had to drink donkey semen. They literally did it and didn't even get to be on TV. The mountain goat isn't actually a goat. It shares more DNA with antelopes, gazelles, and cows than it does any other goat that exists. The eastern kingbird is really only found in the West, and other birds don't seem to recognize its authority. The electric eel isn't an eel. It's a knife fish. And yes, it does emit a deadly electric shock if you touch it. The king cobra isn't genetically related to a cobra. They just call it that because it kinda looks like one and it eats other snakes. The peacock mantis shrimp isn't a peacock, isn't a mantis, and it's not a shrimp. I don't know what the fuck that thing is. The horny toad isn't a toad. It's a lizard and it really only thinks of you as a friend. Whales are mammals, which means that they produce milk. Which means if we collected enough of this stuff, we could technically make whale cheese. I can already hear you guys being like, "Oh my god, no, that's so gross," but you don't know. You haven't tried it. Okay, so I just read a little bit more about it, and I learned that whales have inverted nipples. Kind of cool, twins. Okay, but also I learned that their milk is already the consistency of toothpaste. Which means that their milk is already kind of cheese-like. What do you think, guys? Would you try the cow of the seas cheese? There goes Jayus, always there to ruin your day. Oh my god, yeah, the peacock mantis shrimp, which isn't peacock mantis or shrimp, is really pretty. Because of their beautiful colors, a lot of people want to buy them as pets, but pet stores strongly advise you not to. These things are fast. They can run 30 times their body length in just a second. That's like a bullet. They've been known to break through aquarium glass. And also it has these 3 really powerful claws that are strong enough to break a human hand. They will also violently attack and kill any other fish that you have in your tank. I mean, it's the laws of nature, right? The most brightly colored animals are the most homicidal. Alright guys, today I'm gonna teach you how to survive a nuclear bomb. Just in case. Boom, the bomb went off, you have to act fast, okay? First things first, don't look at the flash, it'll blind you, and try not to look at other people either because the flash can act like an x-ray and you'll be definitely seeing some skeletons. If you can't find shelter, your best bet is going to be to lay down on the ground, face down, covering your head and ears. I would probably still do this even if I had shelter. And like I said, there's gonna be x-rays, but also gamma rays and thermal rays, which are not going to feel good. They're going to be actively burning you. It doesn't matter, you have to get up, fight through the pain, and just find fucking shelter. Don't get into a car that's like the worst idea you could have. A bomb shelter is ideal, but any brick or concrete building is gonna be helpful. Even if you could just find a cave, get inside of it. Because the poisonous rain is coming, and it will kill everything in its path. You should also probably take off your clothes because they are just covered in radiation. And if you somehow made it this far, you're doing better than most, so like for a part 2. It's been over 50 years since the war on drugs started, and I think it's safe to say that it has failed in more ways than anybody could have imagined. And it's crazy that in some states we have people in prison still to this day having their lives ruined because marijuana is illegal. But at the same time, we have companies making billions of dollars selling at dispensaries in legal states. Why is it a $4 billion industry for some, but criminalized for others? It's time for marijuana to be federally legalized, or at the very least decriminalized. Democrats have both the House and the Senate. Joe Biden could very easily take weed out of the Schedule I drug class, because there is no reason for cocaine, meth, oxy, ketamine, or Xanax to be considered less of a dangerous drug than pot. Just some food for thought. Enjoy your 420. I binged watched all the Cars movies recently, and I unfortunately have some questions. So hopefully y'all remember Sarge. He's a 1942 Willys Army Jeep. These things were specifically made for World War II. Does that imply that somewhere in the Cars universe there exists a car Hitler? Because if so, does that mean that there was a Cars Holocaust? Because then you gotta start thinking about the Jewish vehicles. Like, how do you circumcise a car? My guess is that they trimmed the exhaust pipe, but I don't know. And before you sit there and call me crazy, I need you to remember that the car Pope is canon, which means that there was once a car Jesus that died for the car sins. Probably looks something like this. If there's a car Pope, that means that Catholicism is going strong and has millions of followers, or should I say car-Catholicism, which implies car pedophiles. I haven't even scratched the surface on all the crazy things that Pixar implies with the Cars universe, so make sure you like for a part 2. So anxiety is kind of like when you hear video game combat music, but you can't find any enemies. The phrase, "don't objectify women," has women as the object of the sentence. So the asteroid that killed all the dinosaurs was technically the highest ratio of killing birds with one stone in all of Earth's history. So somebody at Google was like, let's have somebody drive down every road on the fucking planet. But you wanna know the crazy part? They actually did it. You can have a fully gay threesome, but you can't have a fully straight one. Hey man, can you put down your iPad and help me with this? This isn't an iPad. Whatever man, put down your little Android tablet and help me get... This is the ROG Z13. The world's most powerful gaming tablet. Most tablets let you play games. No, not mobile games, okay? Real games. This is a better processor than your laptop and a better graphics card than your console. Yeah man, that's really cool. It's just, yeah, it is really cool. I can connect my Xbox controller to this and play any game that I want. You know what I want? There is so much power in such a portable device, okay? You are going to give it the respect it deserves. Dude. Say its name. I'm not gonna. Say its name. ROG Flow Z13. That's more like it. iPad. Are you gonna help me? No, I'm in a multiplayer game and I can't pause it. Psychology tricks that work on kids that I know work because I have like a dozen younger siblings. If you have a kid that's in that why phase, just constantly asking tons of questions, instead of answering every single one of them, which can get exhausting, or just saying I don't know, which can be discouraging, try asking them what they think. They usually end up answering their own question, and then you can provide some feedback and then immediately move the fuck on. Giving a kid the illusion of choice, they become too preoccupied with the decision to even remember that they didn't want to do something. Saying, do you want to do your homework in blue or black pen is better than just saying, do you want to do your homework? Asking a kid, why did you push Jimmy is better than asking, did you push Jimmy? If you have a toddler that's just having an absolute meltdown, okay, there's two tricks. You can ask them a question to try and redirect their attention, like, hey, what color are your shoes? Or you can remind them that they're mad and they shouldn't laugh. You're mad. Don't smile. Say that enough times in a serious voice and they're going to give in. If you ever get a parking ticket, like I did, right here, make sure you pay it online. That way you get to keep the ticket. So if you ever need to park somewhere and you don't feel like paying the meter, you can just slip this underneath your windshield and cops will see it and they won't bother giving you another one. If you ever want to read a book without buying the book, just type the name of the book followed by this. And if you ever want to watch a movie for free, just type this followed by the name of the movie. If you're ever getting pulled over by a cop and you're afraid that you're going to get a ticket, literally as soon as you see the blue lights behind you, call 911 and say that you saw a drunk driver in your location. By the time that cop steps up to your window, they're gonna get that alert, tell you that it's your lucky day, and let you go. Here are 3 things that you should probably look out for in somebody else's body language. Lip locking is something that we all do when we're hearing or seeing something that we don't like. Hey, I think it's finally time that you met my parents. That's a great idea. Shoulder shrugging shows where there's an uncertainty in a person's mind. You know, like the whole, I'd like to thank my family and friends and girlfriend. Eye blocking is a telltale sign that somebody is trying to keep a secret or hide an emotion, whether it's them blinking too slowly, trying to have a conversation with their eyes closed, or wearing a sunglasses and a hat to, you know, hide the truth. They call it sand because it's in between the sea and the land. The division symbol is just a fraction, but with dots replacing the numbers. When they say that this little piggy went to the market, that doesn't mean he went to the store. Ugh, heartburn sucks. Like, why can't I just eat my spicy food in peace? Just try drinking this. What is this? Well, we don't have any Tums, so I just mixed water with baking soda. You feeling better? Yeah, actually. Thanks. Ah! Shit! Oh my god! I cut myself. Do you have any Neosporin or Band-Aid or something? I think we're all out, but I do have sugar. What? You know, since we don't have any bandages, honey might actually work better for this. How is that supposed to help me? Bacteria needs moisture to grow, and putting sugar on the open wound will draw any of the water out, starving the bacteria before it can infect you. You're insane, you know that? You're still awake? You said you were going to bed hours ago. Yeah, I can't sleep. You should try eating this. Peanut butter? It contains tryptophan, which is known to help with sleep issues. Advice that could save your life one day, except the scenarios become increasingly more likely to actually happen. If you want to have a higher chance of surviving a plane crash, what you need to do is sit in a middle seat towards the back of the plane. Don't even bother with first class tickets, okay? It's a guaranteed death. If you ever accidentally drive into water and now your car is sinking, don't bother trying to open up the doors unless it's fully submerged. I'm talking like water up to your chin kind of thing, which is very scary. Instead, as soon as the car hits the water, unbuckle your seatbelt, roll down the window, or break it, and escape through there. If somebody is ever threatening your life with a gun or some sort of other weapon, tell them your name, tell them your parents' name, tell them your siblings' name, if you have any kids, what your hobbies are, if you have a pet, literally anything that you can think about yourself, tell this person, because the more that this person thinks that you're a person, the less likely they are to kill you. You know, instead of running 1 mile, you can actually burn a lot more calories by walking 3. A lot easier on the knees too. According to NASA, the best plants to have in your house are peace lilies and chrysanthemums because they have insane air filtering capabilities. If you're ever having trouble falling asleep, studies have shown that just looking at pictures of people who are asleep can trigger something in our brain that makes us feel more tired. It can help with your insomnia. Here's some groundbreaking science things that happened that you probably didn't hear about because the media's been focused on other things. Okay, so I think we all know what ALS is. It's the disease that Stephen Hawking had, and the whole reason for the ice bucket challenge. Well, there's a 34-year-old paralyzed man with ALS. He can't speak or even move his eyes. Scientists gave him a brain implant that allowed him to answer yes or no questions, but they quickly moved on from that, and now he's able to spell out words. His first words were, "I want a beer." And then he asked for them to play his favorite band, he asked for some curry, and then he said he loved his son. This is huge, not just for ALS patients, but any patients that have trouble communicating traditionally. And I feel like this is just inching us closer to being able to upload our consciousness to the internet. Next time you're feeling bad about something, I want you to come back and rewatch this video because nothing is gonna make you feel better like animals that got caught on security cameras. Like this puppy that ran away from home but came back and rang the Ring doorbell. The way he's standing at the table is sending me. I found that cats either look adorable or possessed. Adorable? Possessed! That seems like it's gonna be an issue. I don't know what that is. Aw, look, a bear outside! Oh, he's inside now. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, they got him taking his shit. Ah! Now it's time for the deer doing weird shit lightning round. This one was just trying to enjoy some nighttime apples and ended up getting chased by a flying squirrel. This one got chased by an owl. This one just got done celebrating its 21st birthday. This one can walk. These ones are, having some fun. Here's something to look out for in somebody else's body language if you think that they might have a crush on you. This is definitely going to be exposing a lot of people out there, and I'm sorry, but like, the people gotta know. If you're with somebody, maybe on a date, maybe not, but at the very least, like, alone with the person, and you notice that they kind of just, like, they flare their nostrils a little bit. They probably don't even realize that they're doing it, but they're trying to smell your pheromones. They can't even help it. Because, you know, when you're attracted to somebody, even on a subconscious level, you're gonna try and figure out if you're compatible on that level. Here are some signs that you're actually more attractive than you think you are. When we find somebody hot, we usually look at them and are like, there is nothing wrong with this person, they're perfect. So, if you ever like casually bring up your insecurities around people and they seem shocked about it, it's because they are. You don't really get that many compliments, which seems backwards, right? Like, the most attractive people should be getting the most amount of compliments, but a lot of people don't even bother complimenting attractive people because they assume that they already know how good they look. You know when you're walking around and you accidentally make eye contact with a person? Okay, well, if you notice these people are staring at you or having to do like double takes, they're having a really hard time averting their gaze from this person that they find so beautiful. And if somebody's like smiling in your direction, flirting, okay? And if they're raising their eyebrows up, they're literally surprised about how gorgeous you are. People seem to have really strong opinions about you, both positive and negative, even if they've never met you. Can you guess why? I'm getting ready to go to my boyfriend's house, and I wanted to wear like a comfy fit, so I'm wearing this like really baggy purple shirt that, wait for it, okay, has a dragon on the back. Crazy, right? And I have these like really loud shorts in a language that I can't read. Bought these shoes online. They said they were a 10. They are not a 10. They are way too small. TikTok doesn't like knives, but for educational purposes, I will be using a bread knife to cut my shoes into slides. I was able to cut straight down, but they still had this lip on it, and when I cut that off, they were still kind of uneven, so I kept hacking away at it until it was comfortable. I don't know, guys. Is this genius? Or am I just stoned? I also got us like these matching bunny chains. So cute. See, look, I got them one. Hola. That's chocolate. Here's how to tell if you're falling in love with somebody or if you just have a crush on them. A crush will feel insecure, but love literally stems from feelings of trust. A crush will feel new and might even be a little reckless, but love will feel familiar and more mature because love thrives off of deep connections while a crush is just kind of formed from the basics. A crush usually fades the more you get to know somebody, but love will grow every single day you get to spend with this person. The world's hardest riddle is really interesting because when Harvard students were asked to answer it, 98% of them got it wrong, but when kindergartners were asked to answer it, 83% of them got it right. So, if you can't solve this, you're dumber than a kindergartner, but right up there with Harvard students. I turn polar bears white, and I will make you cry. I make guys have to pee, and girls comb their hair. I make celebrities look stupid, and normal people look like celebrities. I turn pancakes brown, and make your champagne bubble. If you squeeze me, I'll pop. But if you look at me, you'll pop. Can you guess the riddle? Take your finger and press right here. This spot on your forehead is known as your third eye, and really spiritual people believe that it's the representation for our mystical insight and intuition, but scientifically, just pressing here for like 60 seconds can have some crazy benefits for your body. I press on it to help get rid of a headache or even relieve sinuses. And it stimulates your pituitary gland, which is like the master of all your hormones, which can help your skin, complexion, and just your general well-being. Third eye meditation has also been known to ease anxiety, clear your thoughts, and help with insomnia. And as if this chakra pressure point couldn't do enough already, it also helps with eye strain, which I know you have because you're on TikTok all day. So, the next time you're feeling bad about yourself, I want you to come back and watch this video because nothing is gonna make you feel better like the x-rays of people who made some really embarrassing decisions. Like this guy who survived a 5-inch knife to the skull after breaking into somebody else's house. Or the boyfriend that put the ring he was gonna use to propose in his girlfriend's milkshake. Can you tell what this person swallowed? A toothbrush. On a dare. And now, for the stuff up the butt lightning round, you can guess whether the object got stuck coming down or going up. Starting off with an easy one. Live ammunition. I want to ask why a cell phone, but I think I already know. I may never eat a candy cane again. I'd put money down and say that they're locked out of their house right now. This is not what Pixar meant by to infinity and beyond. Next time you're feeling bad about yourself, I want you to come back and watch this video because nothing is gonna make you feel better like people trying to sell mirrors. You're selling the mirror, you know, you gotta take a picture of it, but you don't necessarily wanna be in it, so got a lot of these. People just trying their very best. Like, genuinely, this is impressive. This is somehow even more impressive. But then some people kinda get lazy. Like, you can tell they're trying, but it just doesn't work. Ma'am, get your child out of here! Hiding his personality, but showing off that ass. This one's so intimate, like, oh my god. Sir, where's your shirt? This one gives more shitty Tinder pic than it does a mirror ad. I don't think I've ever thought to take a picture like this. Oh, just the feet. I like that you can tell the dude behind this is smiling. But honestly, my personal favorite is people dressing up as ghosts. It's like, oh, so spooky. A for effort. This one is genius. Humans are really good at hurting other humans, so here are some interesting ways that we did that. This fun little device is known as the wooden horse, a triangular piece of wood usually with spikes on top. They would make the victim sit on it like a horse and then slowly add weight to their feet. And they would do this until the person was eventually ripped in half, crotch first. Grounding is when they bury a person's whole body up to their head, and after this a few different things can happen. Sometimes they would just throw stones at your head until you died, other times they would pour sugar water on it to attract flies to lay eggs inside of you. And then other times they would bury people at the beach during low tide, that way when the water came back in, they would drown. But by far the scariest method has got to be tickle torture. This is when they would tie a person to a chair and then force them to soak their feet in salt water for about 24 hours. And then after that, they would pull the chair back so their feet are up in the air. And then they would bring a goat in to lick the salt-soaked feet. And the goat doesn't stop licking. It'll lick past your skin, your flesh, right down to your bone. But the worst part is that there's nobody else in the room to plead to or bargain with. Just you and a goat that really likes salt. Not so fun facts to completely ruin your day. Doritos announced that each bag is now gonna have 5 fewer less chips, and they're blaming it on inflation. If you're ever drowning in the ocean, a dolphin is much more likely to rape you than help you or just ignore you. If you ever have a really persistent case of the hiccups, the doctor recommended course of treatment is a rectal massage. The United States has been a country for 244 years, but has been at war for 225 of those years. So, my sister and I went to New York for the Coco Rocha model camp, and we started out with a pose class, which was way out of my comfort zone, but I think that's what the point was. And then we had this challenge where we couldn't let our hands touch our bodies, so this is me doing that. And then we just jumped for 3 straight minutes, which is way harder than it looks. And then we did runway walk practice, which was really fun, but then Coco just showed us how it's actually done. Like, oh my god, that was amazing. We're doing the actual photo shoot tomorrow, so if you guys want to see how that goes, make sure you like for a part 2. It'll definitely be interesting. Okay, I understand that it's a kid's movie, and I'm probably overanalyzing it, but if it's not supposed to have that many details, why does it have that many details? Why do the cars have doors and door handles? Who is getting in and out of them? Are they just pockets? Why does the Cars universe need a school bus? Is there school? Do kids get inside of her? And like, where do baby cars come from? And do they grow up or stay the same? Because there's definitely older cars, but not all new cars are kids. And they're implying that this is mom and this is dad, but like, how? And what's the difference between a boy car and a girl car? And don't you dare say nothing, because there are very blatant gender differences. This car has a mustache and this one has a tramp stamp. I'm not judging, I'm just saying. Like, at first I thought it was the headlights. I was like, okay, maybe girls can flash theirs and boys have stickers, but that's just the race cars, so it doesn't make sense. But I need it to make sense. And I swear to God, this isn't even all my questions, so like for a part 3. For those of you out here struggling, here's some ways to get a guy to actually like you back. Make eye contact with him a little longer than you normally would. Don't stare the man down, okay? But if you notice that when you look at him, it's only for like a second, try to look at him for like 3 to 5 seconds. And smile. He'll notice. Compliment him. Men are so compliment deprived that when they finally get one, they eat that shit up, okay? Just don't go overboard. Like 1 or 2 genuine compliments a week is gonna keep him on his toes and make him feel good. Touch him, but casually. Maybe you touch his arm in conversation, or maybe you're sitting next to each other and your legs bump, but you don't move it right away. Or maybe there's something over here you gotta go show him, so you grab him by the hand and drag him along. Ask him for favors. Nothing crazy, just small stuff. This is a little trick that Benjamin Franklin used to get people to care about him more, but just make sure that if he ever asks you for a favor, you follow through too. Make sure that you have a life outside of him. Show him that you're an independent individual that doesn't need to be around him. You want to be around him. And if he doesn't reciprocate that want, you're ready to walk away, because nothing is more attractive than somebody that knows their worth. If If you ever want to go to a concert or a sporting event, make sure that you buy the cheapest ticket possible and then go. Once you're inside, go on Ticketmaster or StubHub and see what better seats haven't sold yet and just go sit there. If you have an annoying relative that's asking you or you and your partner when you're gonna have kids, just tell them you're pregnant. And then a few months later, tell them you had a miscarriage. They're gonna be so uncomfortable ever bringing it up again that you'll have your peace. Next time you try to buy something on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or Craigslist, message the seller with like 7 different accounts just completely lowballing their offer and be a dick about it. And then message them with your actual account giving a low but reasonable offer. They're gonna be so relieved that they're finally talking to a decent person that you'll get that good deal. Humans are so stupid. We can't agree on anything. Seriously, I challenge you to try and find one thing that everybody can agree on. Because I guarantee whatever you're thinking, somebody wants to argue with you. I bet you want to argue with me on that too. We can't even agree what electrical outlet to use. Every country has to have their own. But why would I think we could do that when we can't get on the same page about how to write what day it is? It gets worse. We can't even agree on what year it is. I have a question. So when I meet somebody new, I usually go in for a handshake or since COVID, like a fist bump, okay? But everybody in LA goes in for hugs. You don't even know this person's name yet. And they're like, let's embrace each other. But being the 6'2" bitch that I am, it's always an awkward experience because most people are smaller than me. So when I go for like an overhug, I'm literally just squeezing this person's head and their face is in my titty tats. But if I go in for an underhug, I'm essentially just picking this bitch up. Like, you're gonna go wherever I go now. Like, let me show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. I just want to know what I'm supposed to do. Like, what is the preferred scenario here? Here's some movies coming out that you should be very excited for. Hocus Pocus 2. It's been almost 30 years since the original, but we are finally gonna see the Sanderson sisters again. It's gonna be coming out on Disney Plus on September 30th, just in time for spooky season. So you probably already heard that the Avatar sequel, The Way of the Water, is coming out December 22nd of this year. But were you aware of the fact that we're supposed to be getting another 4 more of these movies? They already finished recording The Seed Bearer. Honestly, I'm just happy they're putting that $2.8 billion from the first movie to good use. Untitled Super Mario movie. We don't know much about this or like when it's coming out, but we do know that Chris Pratt is playing Mario, Charlie Day is Luigi, Anna Taylor-Joy is Princess Peach, Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. Let's all pray that it's better than the last one. I'm not trying to kink shame anybody, but sloths are literally too lazy to go out and find themselves a mate. So a lot of the times the female will sit up in her tree and scream until a male hears her and decides to go mate with her. And honestly, I feel this. Bats have started practicing oral sex because apparently the males of the species have figured out that if they please the female enough that she won't go out and try to find another mate, securing his spot as the father of the offspring. This is also why Batman's mask doesn't cover his whole face. So you guys know about the deep sea anglerfish, right? They're the ones with the little light that dangles over their head. Well, every single one of these that you see is a lady. The males of the species are really tiny in comparison, and when they see a female, they're kind of torn between hunger and horny, so they just end up biting her. So she releases this enzyme that literally fuses their bodies together, and she usually only keeps the testicles to fertilize her eggs. You thought your sex life was weird. I was thinking that my dog Astro needed a friend besides me, and really the only reason I'm able to do this for him is because of you guys. So it is an honor to announce that I'm getting this little girl. I'm thinking about naming her Nova, but I don't know. What do you think? When you go to order a steak, all of these are acceptable options depending on your preference. If you don't know your preference and don't really want people to make fun of you, go with one of these. But if you are ordering a burger, well done. That's it, okay? If you get a burger and it's even like a little bit pink, send that shit back. Now I do know that rare burgers can be common in some cultures, but I don't care. Send that shit back. A rare steak is fine because you know where that piece of meat came from and all the pathogens and germs are gonna be on the outside of it. When you sear the steak, it makes it safe to eat. But hamburger meat is all mixed up and minced and the germs could be anywhere. Meaning even if you get a good sear on it like a steak, the inside could be from the outside. There's no way to know. I just see this way too often, so I just want to let it be known that you need to cook your meat thoroughly to avoid food poisoning. We found I'm genuinely so impressed with you guys, but also at the same time, kind of terrified. Outside of a Facebook page that he hadn't posted to since 2015 and had one picture on it, this guy had no social media presence, but in 24 hours, you guys were able to find him and send me his name, age, phone number, address, place of business, and his wife and son's number. I'm not going to be posting this guy's information yet because I've been doxxed before and it sucks. But I know that we got the right guy because it looks like him, it sounds like him. He lives only 30 minutes away from the festival. I called his son and he was like, yeah, my dad was at that concert. And my dad called him and was like, is this the man that punched my daughter? And he admitted to it, but then was like, sir, I'm not a violent man. I gave all the info to the cops. I'm just waiting to hear back so I can press charges, but I just wanted to say thank you for all your help and support, and I'll keep you guys updated if there's any updates. Here's some movie mistakes that you didn't even notice. So in Marvel's Doctor Strange, when he's literally performing brain surgery, nobody's wearing masks. The first Pirates of the Caribbean movie is supposed to be set in about 1720s, 1760s, like that era, okay? So why the fuck is there a cowboy? They aren't supposed to exist for another 150 years. So in Twilight, Edward and Bella have sex. But Edward's a vampire, which means he's not supposed to, like, have a heartbeat. And without a heartbeat, how are you getting an erection to even have sex? And his body temperature is, like, super low, so sperm production isn't really what it's supposed to be. So how is Bella getting pregnant? TikTok sent me this book, okay? It's called Women of TikTok. And when I got it, I was like, oh my God, I'm a woman of TikTok. I can't believe they put me in a book. How exciting. So I flipped through all the pages of these beautiful women and I don't see myself. So I flipped through it like one more time and determined that I am not in this book. Why send me this book if you're not going to put me in it? If you're just trying to make me feel bad, mission accomplished. Okay, but whatever. I forgot about it until they sent me this book called Pretty Boys. I was like, maybe they just put me in here for some reason. Pretty Boys on TikTok. Let's see. I'm not in it either. Why send me both of these books to not put me in either of them? Well, Jay, you said your pronouns. Are they them? No, I said I go by any pronouns. I don't care how you perceive me. But I do care about TikTok bamboozling me twice. Like, what is this? If you guys don't come out with a non-binary book right now, I'm gonna lose my shit. Here are a few signs that your parents are toxic. And parents, if you watch this and for some reason get offended, it's about you. They're overly critical. Yes, people are gonna make mistakes and it's a parent's job to teach a child that that thing is a mistake, but there's a limit to this and going past that limit can fuck with your kid's self-esteem for life. They know your boundaries, but ignore them. And this could be as simple as just knocking on a door before entering a room, which is perfectly reasonable, but they have this mindset of, well, I'm the parent, you're the child, and I can do whatever I want in my house. They project their negativity onto you. The parent might not like something about themselves, and when they see it in their kid, instead of realizing that it's from them, they just blame and insult the kid who's still developing and gonna believe all of it. They dump their emotions onto you. The parent is supposed to be the supporting, guiding, and comforting figure for the child, not the other way around. They blame you for everything, like it's your fault for being born and not theirs. I'm not too mad about it because the guy who gave me this dumpster gave it to me on a discount. This is the only trash that I have. This is just a box of glass and a rubber band, I think. Oh, no. Why did they send me this big-ass dumpster? I don't think that's giving it the full credit. Holy shit. Place your bets on how embarrassing this is about to be. I'm trying to shovel all this tile into the wheelbarrow, but it's kind of getting dark, and I don't want to piss off my neighbors, so I might have to come back tomorrow. Look at this. Look at this! Hey, I just wanted to ask you... Dude, this room smells like weed. Skunk! Put a few drops of this on your light bulbs. What is it and why the light bulbs? It's vanilla extract. It'll make the whole place smell less skunk-like. Hey! 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 Your zipper's like all the way down. Man, this always happens. Just lock it. Are you calling me a... No, your zipper has a lock, okay? Like when it's unlocked, it just comes right up. But if you lock it into place, it's not gonna go anywhere. I have to get up so early tomorrow. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like, I might as well go to bed now. Oh man, don't go now. Just drink a big glass of water before you go to sleep. So I have to pee in the morning and get out of bed. The batteries in your remote just died and you don't have any more to replace them. One way to give these things just a little bit more juice is to take them out and then rub them together. This is gonna clean off the connectivity points and give the chemicals inside a little bit more time to redistribute and you more time to procrastinate buying new batteries. If you just did a load of laundry and you have clothes that are still really staticky but you're all out of dryer sheets, what you can do is take 2 pieces of tinfoil, make them into balls, throw them in there. They're gonna be static free every single time. You guys know that your ceiling fan spins in 2 different directions. In the winter, you want it to spin clockwise because that's gonna pull all the hot air from the ceiling down. And then in the summer, you wanna change it to where it's spinning counterclockwise. That way, all the cold air that's settled on the floor gets mixed around the room. 3 times that actors weren't acting. In the show The Fresh Prince, Will is supposed to be giving a very powerful speech about how his TV show character dad abandoned him, but considering that his real life dad did the same exact thing, the emotions feel a lot more real than something that was just made for TV. In the movie Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man gets hit with a big blast of water. Crazy, like he did a great job acting all wet, right? His stunt double actually got hit with all that water. In Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix, when Sirius Black dies, this is obviously a very traumatic thing that happens to Harry, but Daniel Radcliffe's grandmother actually died the morning before they filmed this scene, so the scream that he gave was just so raw and real that they didn't even feel comfortable putting it in the movie. Thankfully, they muted it, and we can still feel it without having to hear it.
Full car. Look at this. Look at all this.
No, I need it.
Look at the shelves. You don't think I need it for my baby too?
You think I know you come and you get this?
I just want to come on here and remind y'all that it is perfectly legal to take stuff out of somebody else's shopping cart before they've paid for it. When there's a shortage of something, like toilet paper, hand sanitizer, in this case baby formula, there's gonna be a lot of assholes trying to bulk buy everything so they can resell it because they're fucking assholes. If you ever see somebody doing this, literally take the shit out of their shopping cart and buy it for yourself. Hell, put it back on the shelf, tell them to fuck off. Life hack. Are you guys hungry right now? Because I'm about to ruin that for you. Ah, bananas! There's a spider in it. Oh, grapes! There's a spider in it. Oreos, processed food, that's gonna be fine, right? There's a spider in it. How about fast food? Like somebody making it for us. Like, that's gotta be better. There's a condom in it. Like, this has happened multiple times. Ah, that's just McDonald's though. What about KFC? Let's go get like a chicken wing or something. Oh, shit, wait. That's a lung. Better than a deep fried rat, I guess. Okay, I'm not that hungry anymore. Kind of thirsty though. What if we just get like a canned soda? That'd be okay. What the fuck is that? That is a dead frog. Ah, there's a mouse in that too. Nothing is safe! Did you know that your birth order in your family can actually have a huge effect on you and your personality? Like, if you're the firstborn child, studies have shown that this has a tendency to push you in the direction of being a high-achieving perfectionist, or, as your siblings might put it, a bossy know-it-all. Compare that to those who are the youngest child, who always seem to be a little bit more funny, creative, outgoing, a little bit more risk-taking, but this just stems from the fact that they always feel left out and have this competitive urge to seek attention. And if you're an only child, you have a lot of similarities with firstborns in the sense that you're mature for your age and kind of a perfectionist, but you try to be the leader in situations where that's not necessary because you have this deep craving to be the center of attention. And if you're a middle child, almost forgot about you there. There are 2 types, okay? You're either a rebellious independent or a flexible, easygoing peacemaker. Which one will be? Stephen Hawking wanted to test if traveling back in time was possible, so he threw a time traveler's party, but didn't invite anybody until after the party was over. And the idea was that if time travel existed, a traveler would see the invitation and show up. But nobody did, and he won an award for it. There was a 1 in a 5.2 to the 62nd power chance that if you were to slap a table, all of the molecules in your hand would miss all of the molecules on the table, allowing it to pass straight through. Granted, you would probably have to slap this table for a very, very long time, so the chances are low, but Never zero. Oh! As you get closer to a black hole, time moves slower. So everything farther away would experience time faster and faster as you got closer and closer. 1 second for you could mean billions of years for everything else on the outside. And so if you were to fall into a black hole and look out of it, you would actually see the universe die with you. For those of you out there struggling, here are some ways to get a girl to actually like you back. Be friendly! Duh! Right? But most people, especially guys, feel like they have to play it cool to get a girl's attention, but if you just went up to her with a warm, friendly energy, it's gonna work out a lot better than trying to play some badass. Slide into those DMs. Having this fun little private conversation between the two of you is going to be huge, because if she already kind of likes you, she's going to love this, and you'll notice that she'll start initiating the conversation. Ask deep, meaningful, and personal questions. And make sure you actually listen to what her answer is instead of just trying to think about what you're gonna say, because the conversation's gonna feel more natural, and then these bonding chemicals are gonna release in her brain, making her feel more attached to you. Remember to be cool with her friends. A lot of people get tunnel vision when they're around the girl they like and completely ignore their friends without realizing that that is one of the biggest factors in whether she likes you or not. Let her know that you think of her as more than a friend. If you did everything else I said, I can almost guarantee that this is going to change your life. Let's say you have a crush on somebody. You're flirting a little bit, maybe even dating, but you're not quite sure if they're all that into you. Buckle up, because they're about to be. You're on FaceTime with them. Congratulations, I'm assuming you're at home, you're in your normal clothes, okay? In the middle of the conversation, be like, it's getting late, I gotta put on my pajamas. Now, you walk out of frame. They don't get a show, and when you're changing, you just happen to throw your shirt across the frame. You throw your pants, you throw your hoodie, you throw your whatever, okay? You're gonna be able to see their reaction on screen. They're not gonna say anything because you didn't do anything, but they're gonna be thinking some things. Pretend that there's something in your eye, okay? It hurts really bad, you can't get it out, you need their help. Depending on the height difference, they're gonna be looking up at you, trying to figure out what's causing you pain. You're gonna be looking down at them, or vice versa. And all you have to do is smile, and they're gonna be like, what? And you have to be like, I just really like you looking up or down at me. I would get butterflies. This one really only works if you're a girl going for a guy, or girl for girl, or guy for guy. It doesn't really work guy for girl. Okay, you're gonna be in a conversation with them, standing across from them. You're gonna have something in your hand. Doesn't matter what it is, phone, wallet, chapstick, I don't care. You're going to accidentally drop it. When you go down, you're going to grab their thigh for balance. And before you come back up, you're gonna look back up at them and be like, my bad, and get back up and go back to the conversation as if nothing happened. They're going to explode! In the new Disney movie Encanto, in the background of Bruno's place, you can very clearly see a boot with a plant in it. Right there. Which is a nice little callback to the plant in WALL-E. And in the movie Moana, one of the first monsters they show looks exactly like Marshmallow from Frozen. And in The Incredibles 2, which came out in 2018, we get to see a lot of Jack Jack's powers. Some of which include telekinesis, laser vision, and being able to just pop in and out of different dimensions. Which makes this scene from Monsters, Inc., which was made in 2001, just a little bit more interesting.
A kid flew right over me and blasted a car with its laser vision.
I tried to run from it, but it picked me up with its mind powers and shook me like a dog.
So if anybody were to come up and ask me if I like making videos on TikTok or YouTube more, I would have said YouTube. And don't get me wrong, I love TikTok. It's where I got my start. It's my biggest following, and I just love making like the short form content. But like YouTube, it's YouTube, and no offense, but the comments are just a little bit more engaging there. But last night around 2 a.m., YouTube banned me from posting for a week, and TikTok sent me a present. So, jeez, why did you get banned from YouTube? What did you do? I made a video showing people how to watch movies for free. Hindsight's 2020. Oh, how I love confetti. I think TikTok sent me a cake. Well, shit. Thank you, TikTok. In the flower shop, I've never had a cake at 10 in the morning, but first time for everything. 3 movie mistakes that ended up making the final cut. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey was supposed to walk over the table, pull the tablecloth, and have everything go flying. But somehow, that didn't happen, so he improvised, ran over, and pushed everything off, and it was just too good not to put in the movie. In Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf enters Bilbo's hobbit hole, he accidentally hits his head on everything. The chandelier, the low ceiling beam, and Peter Jackson thought it was just so funny, so he kept it in. In Thor Dark Worlds, Thor very casually and very politely hangs up his hammer on the coat rack, which wasn't in the script, and it sparked this whole debate online about whether the coat rack was worthy. Oh my god, yeah, the peacock mantis shrimp, which isn't peacock mantis or shrimp, is really pretty. Because of their beautiful colors, a lot of people want to buy them as pets, but pet stores strongly advise you not to. These things are fast. They can run 30 times their body length in just a second. That's like a bullet. They've been known to break through aquarium glass. And also it has these 3 really powerful claws that are strong enough to break a human hand. They will also violently attack and kill any other fish that you have in your tank. I mean, it's the laws of nature, right? The most brightly colored animals are the most homicidal. Here's some gross habits that are actually good for you. There are 2 types of people in this world, okay? People who pee in the shower and fucking liars. Not only will peeing in the shower save you on your water bill, but the acid in your urine can prevent fungal infections in your toes. When you bite your nails, you're actually consuming some of the bacteria underneath them, which is gross, but it can help build a stronger immune system. Studies have shown that kids who suck on their thumbs or bite their nails are less likely to suffer from allergies. Burping in front of people is really impolite, but when you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Holding in all that air can cause bloating and heartburn. You shouldn't actually shower every single day. When you do so, it strips away the essential oils and bacteria from your skin and hair and can make you age faster. So if you want to look younger, try showering 2 to 3 times a week. Picking your nose and eating it can help build a stronger immune system and prevent cavities, which is really gross, but Insane history facts that school just refused to teach you. During times of war, humans have been known to take their weapons and stick them in shit. That way, if they stab anybody with it, it inflicts that extra poison damage. The famous poet Edgar Allan Poe was 27 years old when he dove deep into alcoholism, lost his job, and decided that the next course of action for his life would be to marry Virginia Eliza Clem, his 13-year-old cousin. She died about 10 years later from tuberculosis. Toulouse-Lautrec is a very famous painter from the late 1800s who apparently had a giant penis. But because he was only about 5 feet tall, the prostitutes that he hung around called him Teapot because he's short and stout. You should know that 1 large 18-inch pizza is always going to be better than 2 medium 12-inch pizzas. Here is the math. You're welcome. If you have a bunch of extra change lying around, don't go to a Coinstar to cash it in. They're going to charge you outrageous fees and force you to get a gift card. If you just take that change and give it to your bank, they're going to give you that exact amount in cash. No fees. Being dehydrated can drop your blood pressure, which makes you feel depressed, and in turn can make your heart beat harder, which can cause anxiety. So just drink more water. As if 2021 couldn't get any worse, Betty White passed away today at the age of 99. She was only 18 days away from her 100th birthday. I think it's safe to say that everybody knows who Betty White is, considering she had an acting career that spanned 7 decades. About 7 years ago, she did an Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and I thought it'd be interesting to go through the questions and answers as a way to remember this Hollywood legend. Somebody asked who's the most famous person that she ever met, and she not only responded with 3 US presidents, but the Queen of England. Somebody asked what her favorite technological invention was, and she said sliced bread, which is funny because she actually saw sliced bread be invented when she was like 6 years old. She said that if she had never gotten into acting, she would have been a zookeeper. So somebody asked what her favorite animal was, and it led to this interaction, which I find hilarious. And when asked who she would like to play Betty White in the story of her life, she said either Meryl Streep or Julie Andrews, but figured that Hollywood would probably cast Chris Rock instead. I'm about to make a whole lot of you really upset right now, especially if you're still in school, and I'm sorry, but this has to be pointed out. We can all agree that the United States school system sucks, right? But do you know what country's school system doesn't suck because they prioritize learning and mental health over grades? Finland. You don't believe me? Okay, well, let's just compare the graduation rates, or how much homework a kid has a night, or how much break you get throughout the day. How about how many standardized tests you have to take? Or how much the teachers work versus how much they're paid? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that just crazy? Also, their college is free! Here's some tricks to help you get rid of your acne, and none of the cliche shit. Actual life hacks. So everybody knows that you need to be washing your bed sheets at least once a week. I hope. But if you have bad acne, you need to be washing your pillowcases every couple of days. But that's annoying. So instead, try putting a clean towel over your pillowcase every night, and I promise you it's going to change your life. Try leaving Head and Shoulders on your face for 15 minutes a day. There's an ingredient in it called pyrityrone zinc that's been proven to completely clear up certain types of acne. But if you want something a little bit more natural than that, putting shea butter or honey on your face can go a long way in getting rid of pimples and healing acne scars. And when you go to wash your face, make sure you're using hot water. And when you go to rinse it, use cold water. This is going to open and close your pores at the right time, leaving you with better skin. And finally, make sure you give any acne treatment you're trying at least 4 weeks to kick in and work before giving up and trying something else. And if nothing seems to be working, it might be time to talk to a dermatologist instead of listening to a stranger on the internet. Hope this helps though. Hi, I was hoping to apply for a job. Okay, here's my resume. It's on paper. I think it's pretty standard practice. I didn't even know people still owned printers. Don't you guys sell those here? Look, man, I'd love to give you a job, but like, they don't even let me use the break room here yet, you know? Can I talk to the manager then? You don't want to talk to her. You should check out HireAct instead. What do you mean? It's this app where you can get a job really fast. That sounds a lot more simple than continuing this conversation, so I will download it. Yeah, it matches you with the CEOs of companies you're interested in working with, so you can talk to them directly, you can set up your interviews, you can get instant feedback, and you can get hired on the spot. I got the job! What? I'm your new boss. Hey! Hello? How's 2022 going? January's about to end, so I just wanted to check in on ya. You actually want to know? Yeah, there's an out-of-control SpaceX rocket on a collision course with the moon. What? Betty White and Bob Saget died. Not Betty White and the borderline pedophile from Full House. Some people still deny COVID-19's existence and refuse to get vaccinated, even though over 1,000 people die from it every day. Healthcare workers have to leave their jobs because hospitals can't afford to pay them more than Walmart will, and some mom just threatened to shoot up a school if the school forced her kid to wear a mask. Why? But those same people are trying to ban books from school libraries. I didn't realize that mass school readings were such an issue for our youth. And in spite of the fact that inflation went up by 7%, over 4 million people quit their jobs this month, adding to the 38 million people that quit their jobs last year in what experts are calling the Great Resignation. Are you saying that nobody wants to work anymore? And instead of doing something to help the American people, the government issued a memo assuring all of us that birds are real. So the birds aren't real. Birds aren't real. One of you guys in my comments section told me that if I ever have to erase pencil but don't have an eraser, that I could use bread as a substitute. And already the scenario seems fucking stupid. Like, if I'm in a situation where I'm writing something and don't have access to an eraser, why on earth would I have bread? And I also kind of think they're fucking with me, but I want to try it anyway. So I got paper, I got a pencil, and I got bread. Okay, so I'm just gonna write my name really quick. And then I'm gonna take the bread and crush it into a ball. Let's see if this works. Are you kidding me? It's not practical, but it works if you need it to. Mandala effects that are gonna really freak you out. Anytime anybody wants to dress up as Tom Cruise in Risky Business, they do the white socks, the no pants, the pink shirt, and the sunglasses. But Tom Cruise isn't wearing sunglasses in that scene. If you imagine the Star Wars character C-3PO, I'm sure you picture an all-gold robot. But since the beginning of the franchise, C-3PO has had a silver leg. And for some reason, nobody seems to remember it. Ask anybody you know to describe what the robber emoji looks like. Most people are going to say, well, he's wearing a striped shirt, a black hat, and wearing a mask. And I'm sure you pictured this. But this emoji does not and has never existed.
Oh my god, I just dropped my fucking keys down the trash chute. What the fuck? I actually hate myself. How am I supposed to get them back?
No. No, the fuck you're not. You know, technically chocolate is poisonous to humans too, but we're able to stop ourselves from eating that much, and our metabolism is fast enough that we're fine. But cats and dogs don't have that luxury. I thought it was common knowledge that it's not good for your pets. To be fair, the toxicity level does depend on the kind of chocolate, how much was eaten, and how much your dog weighs. But if your dog ever accidentally eats chocolate, please use this website or some calculator like it to see how severe it's going to be, because it could mean the difference between them just puking it up and having a little bit more energy to them having constant diarrhea or a heart attack. But saying that you're just allowed to give dogs chocolate because your dog ate some chocolate once and was fine is like saying, well, my kid got a little bit of bleach in their mouth, I gave them some water and they were okay, so I guess it's fine if I just let my kid drink bleach. Don't let your kid drink bleach! If you have a headache at the front of your head, you need more sleep. But if it's on the top right here, you need to eat more and drink more water. But if it's on the back here, you need to figure out whatever it is that's stressing you out so much and stop it. And if you're feeling it a lot at the front of your face, that's a sinus headache and you either need medicine or exercise. If it feels like you're wearing just a really tight headband, that's a tension headache and you need to get away from the phone screen and go take a hot shower. If all the pain is around one eye, this is called a cluster headache, and if you get these a lot, you should go see a doctor. And if one side of your head just really hurts, that's not a headache, it's a migraine. I just found out that some people have the ability to see more colors than the rest of us. We're gonna figure out if you're one of those people right now. Take a second to pause this and count how many colors that you see. Okay, so if you counted 20 colors, this means that you're part of the 25% of the population that only has 2 color receptors. Surprise! You're colorblind. If you counted between 21 and 32 colors, this means that you're part of the 55% of the population that has 3 color receptors. Congratulations, you're normal. But if you were worthy enough to count between 33 and 39 colors, you're what's called a tetratromad, which means you have 4 different color receptors. You can see more colors than everybody else around you. You're more sensitive to the color yellow, and the whole white, gold, blue, black dress thing probably didn't trick you like it did the rest of the world. I hope you know the cake is filled with sprinkles. I didn't. I can see some of the sprinkles from the bottom, but like filled with it? No way. Astro, this is a chocolate cake. You cannot have it. I don't know how to cut a cake. Oh my god! Y'all, it's filled with sprinkles. That is so cool. You can't have cake. You are a dog. I think I destroyed the cake. Ah! In my hands, I hold the Asus VivoBook 13 Slate, a computer that has been completely designed for productivity and entertainment. This thing's a beast. So it is a 2-in-1, which means that you could use it for what it is, a laptop, or you could take off the keyboard and it turns into a tablet. And it also comes with the pen. So if you wanted to draw or take handwritten notes, you can do all that on here. And it comes with a little kickstand in the back too, for when you want to watch movies. And I can guarantee you're going to want to watch movies on this thing. This is an OLED screen, so the visuals are just amazing. It has built-in Dolby Atmos, so the sound is just incredible. And the power and speed that this thing has is what makes the Asus VivoBook 13 Slate just the award-winning computer that it is. So if you've been looking for a new computer for school, work, traveling, or just on the go, make sure you consider this one, okay? You can read more about it with the link in my bio. 2022, I will take life advice from a TikTok filter. Kind of ironic. I mean, I love my boyfriend, you know, we wear matching necklaces, but getting married?